Fresh from victory, this president has an ambitious plan. Macron caused a political earthquake in France. Now the economy is up next. His first big piece of legislation will be one of the most contentious, an attempt to liberalize France's notoriously rigid labor laws. I've come to Paris to find out whether Macron's new party, République En Marche, is up to the task.
Each of the past 3 presidents here in the Élysée Palace has promised reform, but then crumbled in the face of popular resistance.
In France, it's one thing to get elected, it's another to reform the country. Many projects have run into resistance and have been watered down. Now the unions are ready to fight back, says economist Philippe Crevel. The French people should want Macron to succeed. Whether they are left or right, France needs to be reformed. We can't wait 5 more years. If we do, we risk higher debt, which already stands at 96% of GDP, and also higher unemployment. So if nothing happens in the next 5 years, we may see the next presidential election with extremists on both right and left. Macron now needs to be swift, experts say, particularly in tackling the unemployment crisis towering over France.
The unemployment rate in France is close to 10%. Bringing it down will be crucial for Macron. I'm about to meet someone who knows this field like no other.
Nous avons considéré qu'il fallait être optimiste parce que
we need to remain optimistic because due to our dynamism, particularly in the IT sector, new jobs will be created. But to allow the long-term unemployed to compete for these jobs, we need to train them.
Il faut renforcer pour eux la formation.
Many in Paris believe if reforms are ever to succeed, now is as good a time as any for Macron. But first, the new president and his party will need to win the upcoming parliamentary elections in 4 weeks' time.
Macron now needs to win a legislative majority, but there's a lot of new candidates and they need a strategy to win. And that strategy is made in the basement of this bar. So follow me and also get a flavor for the Macron movement.
The party is just over a year old. This is its first election. In committees like this one in Paris, supporters are working with candidates who have never held elected office. The En Marche group was started right here by an IT specialist and a student.
Our main challenge is clearly to keep the momentum. And my big surprise is after the election, the enthusiasm that you have. It's amazing. And they are still, they still want, to change and to make it happen.
République En Marche members are convinced that their candidate can win, even against seasoned politicians. After all, that is an art their president has mastered like no other before him.